Assalamu alaikum guys. Welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to do a midweek review of my midweek analysis, and also to share with you what happened with me in the market today. I had three uh, miss entry, although I've already taken a trade yesterday. I took one trade on BTC yesterday. On Monday, I didn't had any trade because I was like kind of expecting market to pull back to have a deeper retracement before it continues towards the mid of the week. But then that refused to happen, and the market just continue pushing to the upside and to the downside, and like that. So today I had three setup, and all of them miss entry. So I wanted to share that with you. But before going into that, let's check what's happening on the XY. So, kamar yadda kuka sani, I've been bullish on DXY for a while, and my weekly target was this high, and on the monthly perspective, I was targeting one of your value gap dinner, which is also the weekly high that Nikkei targeting, and you can see uh, today we kind of weak into the fair value gap, and the price has just pulled back to and have a end of the day like pullback hacker or something like that. But then I was calling this fair value gap since I think when I started dropping videos on YouTube, and you can go back and check it for reference. So today we had this candle big into it on the monthly time frame Kenan. But I want to take you back to the weekly time frame. If you can remember last week, my weekly outlook video, I told you I was looking to see how price will come back to this block before it's kind of continue towards this weekly door on liquidity. But then as the market opened, it's just continue flying, which can also happen depending on the market condition and everything that is happening in the market. And also on the daily time frame, this was the area I called during the weekend. That's on my previous weekly outlook video Kenan on DXY. I called this area that was the area I'm interested in. That was when price I think was here following the candle two closure we had on Friday, and like this. So market closed like this. So usually why I was anticipating for market to come back into this area before going for this target was that we took out a major liquidity, right? One area the market here taking the issue as a break of structure, and usually concerning the market here taking major liquidity area, usually and some maybe pullback or retracement for continuation or deeper retracement for continuation. So what I was anticipating was that even if we are going to continue to the upside, I wanted to see how market will react to this fair value gap, which is a pullback, like maybe Monday feeling one in fair value gap and then taking the low of Friday Kenan before like pushing. I want to see how it's Monday close. If Monday like weak this Friday's low hack and then into this fair value gap and close above, then that's ensure there will be no need for market to come back to this area. But then I would have preferred commenting of a previous video, for market to come as deep as into one area, sorry, as deep as into this area, right? Because we took out a major liquidity area, and this is Thursday's low. And usually, sometimes in the Monday, would be taking the low on Thursday bar, so there is high possibility that when Monday opens, sorry, if Friday did not take out the low of Thursday too, usually there is high possibility that when Monday opens, we will revisit this area again, like which is the Thursday's low before we continue pushing to the upside, and we have this consecutive bearish candles around this area. So I was thinking market will kind of like come back into it so that we'll have good and better entries for us to target this high. But then market does what market do a lot of times, right? So immediately market opens on Monday, market started flying and flying and flying until it took out this area today. So possibly you are going to have that deeper retracement I was anticipating, because again market has tapped into that monthly fair value gap, right, which is a liquidity point. Then like I'm still thinking, or I'm still anticipating markets to like kind of have a deeper retracement hakan into these areas, because this is a gap, these are imbalances, right? Market cannot go without like feeling these imbalances, right? So since market refused to like pull back on Monday, immediately the week opened and decided to go to the upside, then I'm still expecting this weekly candle to close as a bearish, pulling back into this area. So that's my kind of draw on liquidity. This area still stands as my draw on liquidity, right? So going into Euro USD, since I don't trade DXY, of course, I just use it as a reference for what, for Euro USD and sometimes GBP USD. I don't normally trade GBP USD, but then sometimes I do, right? Like just like today, I decided to trade it and market decided to snub me. I don't know. Like there was a lot of momentum in the market, so the market just decided to fly without me. So on the weekly time frame, if you remember, I've been like super bearish on DXY, right? Following the structure and everything. I believe if you have been watching my video, you would know how we arrive at this area. Sannan kuma again, ko da baka kallon videos ina, idan ka kula da yanda market structure yake, like if you understand candlestick structure, zaka gane cewa this market is very like bearish as far as Euro USD is concerned, to draw into this area, which is what I was anticipating. I was still anticipating a weekly bearish candle, but then look at this candle very well. Where is the wick, right? Like this week has been very kind of crazy, right? So immediately within the market just decided to start dumping aggressively without even creating the week, and that week was what I was kind of anticipating, right? To capitalize on, just like one previous week in yanda na market din sa, exactly that was what happened. Idan ka koma previous videos ina, idan ka kalla da kyau zaka fahimta, when we were in this week, which is last week, right? The week before that, during the weekend when I dropped the weekly outlook, Lechemoko, I wanted to see this particular week close as a bearish week, right? But then in as soon again the price did that one chicken one other block, and then just like the week before that one, when the market pulling back into one area, and then it dropped, right? See market creating one candle, and then which is like supply zone hakan, market taking initiate tapping into this area and drop again. The same thing I was anticipating one week then, that market will open on Monday kenan, like that was day for yesterday. Market will open and ya zo ma wannan area din nan, right? Wannan order block din nan. Then supply zone, sorry, then it will drop to take out wannan low din nan, because we came very close to that low and market be taking in Shiba. So I was like anticipating a bearish candle this week, so that market zai bude, they create a week, which is Monday and maybe Tuesday. Then Wednesday you will see it dropping aggressively happen. But then market just opened on Monday and decided to just start dropping aggressively. So like always, like as usual, banner trading on Monday. So yesterday I was like looking for the trade opportunity, but because the market just decided to like drop aggressively. Look at yesterday, even on the daily time frame, that you are being mad a week. Look at Monday for one now. Like when the market just open, it just drop aggressively, right? So abunda nake ta anticipating was that idan Monday ya buɗe, Monday will manipulate above Friday and Thursday's high, then tap into that inefficiency that is above, which is this inefficiency. Because it makes sense. Like if you go back to your chart, that a lot of times this happens, right? That if the high of like when you are bearish, right? If the high of Monday or Friday did not take out the high of Thursday, there's high possibility that on Monday, if market opens second, and taking the highs on Friday and Thursday, usually depend on how the market structure is. But in this case, I was highly anticipating for that to happen, because look at it now. Friday only as also as a candle to closure of our journal, as a sweep of liquidity. Monday I taken them lows on Thursday, right? But we taken them high on Thursday, but so high on Thursday is intact. So abunda ne anticipating during weekend when I was doing my market analysis is that Idan Monday ya buɗe hakan nan, right, it should gravitate and take out Thursday's high, tapping into this area, this inefficiency hakan nan, then it will drop. Simple. That is the simple thing I was anticipating, because last week has already give us the confirmation, right? Last week has already give us the confirmation with this what, break of structure. Kun ga wannan break of structure ɗin nan shine confirmation that this pullback has ended. Wannan pullback ɗin nan, wannan particular pullback ɗin nan da aka samu has ended with this aggressive drop on Wednesday last week, followed by Thursday again dropping. Then Friday had a pullback, sweep and pullback. So I was anticipating Monday pulling back again, just like this. Aggressive out, aggressive in, aggressive out. Simple. On Monday. Monday manipulates, Tuesday, Wednesday should drop. Abunda ne anticipating kenan, but look at what happened. Immediately Monday open, it dropped. Fine. I ignored Monday. Okay. Monday ya bata like the narrative, right? But then I was still anticipating Tuesday to give me a setup, a continuation setup. I was no longer interested in trading this area again because of this drop on Monday. On Tuesday, I didn't look for any setup safe. I was just waiting for to see how market will close below this area on Tuesday, because immediately if market close below this area, in my mind, if Tuesday close below this area, then there is no way market will come back to this area, because I was like, this video I was supposed to do it on Tuesday evening, right? But I didn't have time to do it, because my idea is that if Tuesday close below this Friday's low, the market will not come back to, probably not come back to this area, right? I will just be looking for a continuation setup, probably around this area, around this candle, for Wednesday to manipulate to this area for continuation down. That was what I was kind of anticipating on Tuesday. So I didn't trade Euro USD on Tuesday because there was no setup. Market is just dropping aggressively, and if you decide to chase the market, you all know what happened, right? But today, yesterday, which is Tuesday, market closed below that Friday's low that I was anticipating. Good. So today I was just going to look for a clean and good setup, with today being Wednesday, because this video I'm making it on Wednesday. Probably I'll post it today, tomorrow, Thursday. Maybe you'll be seeing it on Thursday, but then I'm currently making this video on Wednesday, right? Late Wednesday. So the market just opened one night shiny Thursday's candle, right? But then we are still in Wednesday in my time zone. So this is what happened today. Let me show you what happened today, right? Today when I woke up in the morning, already market is around okay, Tuesday has already like manipulated and tapped into this area, right? And tapped into this fair value gap and closed below this area, because this is the, I think this is the 930, I think 930 for our candle also, right? So market already respected this fair value gap and drop. So immediately market drop and close below this area, I was waiting for the price to come back at least to this week on Wednesday. Simple, around this area for me to look for sales. That is what I am looking for, because this is the 4 hour time frame, and you know how weeks are sometimes point of interest. So I was waiting for markets here that will chicken one point of interest, and then I'll start looking for sales aggressively, which is being Wednesday, right? But then market be pulling back to that area back. I went down to 1 hour time frame again to look at how the structure is and to see if there is any other area I can capitalize on. There is nothing, right? There is nothing in particular. So I think I went to GBP USD to see, okay, idan maybe Euro bai ban setup ba, GBP USD will give me a setup which is close to price, because this is the idea. One area din is the CISD on 30 minute and 15 minute time frame, because idan ka kalla market structure da kyau zaka ga cewa, let me bring you back to this area that I was looking for the trade, right? Because I didn't try to trade Euro USD because price has already dropped aggressively, and sometimes concerning the Euro USD yake tafiya yana barin GBP a baya. So if you miss the move on GBP Euro USD, which is sometimes faster, then if you check Euro GBP USD, if you miss a trade on Euro USD and you check your GBP USD and it is too close to the price, there's possibility that one of them will like kind of go back to that area to mitigate it before dropping. So I was watching this area when market mitigated this on Tuesday. I was watching it that if there's a possibility that Wednesday will gravitate towards this area and give me a sell good, right? Because it kind of makes sense. As I'm part of trading, I was like accumulation, the market manipulated, and you know I love trading it, right? And give us this area as liquidity, right? And continue. So I was anticipating for price to come back to this area to mitigate then drop, which kind of makes sense. Some of the non Shini CISD dinner. So I was thinking that market will kind of draw into this area before dropping down, but then it didn't. It did. It kind of did on I think GBP is somewhere the one pullback and it came very very close, which is where I was like had a trade. And GBP USD came. I had a trade around this area and this pullback came very very close, but then dropped, refused to trigger. I'll show you that on GBP USD, right? So this is what happened. I missed this entry and it's kind of frustrating and annoying, right? Because I was waiting for this like, but anyway, I still think the market can still come back to that area, but then it all depends because the way market has been dropping, it has been dropping massively and aggressively. So there's also this area I'm looking at, although I'm still going to wait for a huge confirmation when market comes back to this area because there's also this area that is unmitigated and prices can decide to come back to this area. But then I'm just going to like sit down and watch until the market get to that area before I'll start kind of looking for either confirmation or whatever. So on GBP USD, this is the area. Let me also reanalyze it from daily time frame because I don't usually trade GBP USD. Pay trading nations whatsoever unless if I see a maybe similar setup on Euro USD that's there's a way I trade them, Sha. There's a way I trade them, but I don't usually normally trade USD. So a market pulled back into this fair value gap on Monday, I think, yeah, on Monday, then drop because like just like the Euro USD, I was anticipating market to come back to these imbalances before dropping, having this candle to closure on Friday, right? So I was thinking market will come back to this area also on GBP USD, but then price decided to snug that area, mitigate this fair value gap and drop. This is Monday, this is Tuesday, right? So on the 4 hour time frame, you can also see the structure kind of makes sense. And we had this area after the mitigation of this area on like the daily time frame and the 4 hour time frame week structure, because this is a change of character or break of structure, telling you that this trend we have a high, low, high. The market breaks the low of this candle, telling you that we have a change of change in market structure. So the one now breaking break of structure and we have another break of structure to the downside. So market has lose interest in going to the upside and now we want to start coming to the downside. So it's kind of makes sense, right? So then and I went to like 1 hour time frame to look at the proper structure for me to trade today again and today in the morning, having missed that entry or should I say trying to relate it with Euro USD, right? And this is Asia high. Let me on my indicator for you to see. One area then is Asia high. Conga Asia high now, right? You see the Asia high, and you know what lies above Asia highs, right? So there's the liquidity above Asia high, and market pushed its market like took out the liquidity and came back into the range, telling you that it has no more business here. It has absolute no business here, and the market is trying to like kind of drop. That's before we had this drop. Everything is being has been shared in my Telegram group live in the morning when I was analyzing it, and I was dropping the setups on my Telegram group for like anyone that is interested to kind of capitalize on the idea. I don't send signals, bilateral signals, but then yeah, through trade ideas. So if you're in my Telegram group, you will know that. So when I analyze this GBP USD in the morning, I send it and I send everything with the setup and all, right? So After market gave us that breakout, that change of character, which is this one breakout structure, and then the market about the change of character, and then after taking out the Asian high, this is like TBS, something like TBS, right? Aggressive in, aggressive out. The market closed below the last low that instigates this Judah swing. So this is the change of character. So abundantly is that there is no clean favor lookup a wajen nan on the 15-minute time frame, which I love trading, right? There is no clean favor lookup. So the other thing I did was I used my Fibonacci tool to give me the OTE zone. I was going to trade OTE today, right? To, because babu wani clean zone da zan yi taking ba inversion favor lookup ba clean favor lookup da zan yi trading din shi. So I decided to trade the OTE entry, and this is my OTE zone, right? Then I now look towards the left, sai na ga wannan area din nan kamar QM, which is also makes sense, so I decided to trade it. Da na sani yau I would have just trade the open of my OTE zone, which is this area, the open of my OTE zone haka, then my stop loss should even close that high and target my 1 to 3 RR, and it will still have paid me. It will still have paid me because this is the entry and it triggers, right? Of this. This is the entry on the OTE kenan fa. Although to be honest, ba haka nake trading din OTE ba. I usually trade the 70.5, right? This is how I do trade OTE zone, to be honest, right? Then I will still have missed that entry because 70.5, if you take, let me do this again, if you take from this low that gives you the change of character, from this high, sorry, from this high to this low that gives you the change of character, and you pull it to the side, za ka ga cewa ga abin da zai baka nan shine OTE zone ɗina, right? So OTE zone ɗina ya yi aligning daidai da wannan QM ɗin, so that was my trade, and market decided to come very close to it and snap it, and just drop. Very annoying, very like frustrating, but then it's a good one, sha. It's a good one. At least I know that my analysis was right. It was just my entry that was bad, which is good. So that was on GBP right? That was on GBP. I also missed entry on gold and BTC too. So let me break down to that one too. So on the weekly time frame, we all know that, like, if you have been with me, you all know that this was my draw on liquidity when it comes to weekly time frame. One area, you know, last week this was my draw on liquidity. I wanted to see how market will close below this area because that's the CRT we had. One and CRT in this for last 2 weeks, right? The market gave us this the sweep of that major point of interest, point of interest, and then I told you guys in one of the videos I made that I want to see how price will kind of pull back before it continue going down, right? To mitigate this area. I think on that video, this was the area I was like interested in, one other block, and because it's an order block, you all know why it's an order block, I believe. So a market came back last week, you know, and took out the high of that previous week and dropped, right? So I was looking for continuation towards this CRT, because around the CRT I was, you know, if you look at if you watch the previous video, previous weekly outlook videos, I can show, and then they analyzing the one. Then on the daily time frame also, I'll get you last week I also marked this high, then the market ya koma ya mitigating wannan area din nan, wannan key level din nan, wannan rejection zone din nan, sai you dropping, sai ya bamu wannan internal candle din. So my take last week was that if it is possible for this week, Monday or Tuesday, to come back to this week, because this is a point of interest to right. This is Friday. Yeah, this is Friday. So like on Monday, ina ta anticipating cewa maybe price will come back to wannan area ɗin, because wannan kaman CPI, is it CPI? FOMC or CPI shi ya dropping the market haka, so I was anticipating market to come back to mitigate this area before we continue towards the CRT low haka nan, because this is the CRT high, right? But then Monday opened, Monday manipulated to this one favor lookup, and then there's a favor lookup here and drop, right? So, and I said, just like on Euro USD also, I said If there's a way Tuesday will close below this area, then there will not be need for market to come back to this area again, because that kind of makes sense. In the market zai closing below Friday's low haka nan ya bada wannan order block, and then market is just going to kind of respect this order block and continue pushing to the downside, which also makes sense. So market close on Tuesday below this Monday's low and Friday's low with a break of structure. This is a break of structure, right? So I was only looking for sales today during the London session. That was in the morning. So I had a trade ID, right? In the morning, I had a trade ID, which is a nice one. I followed the structure. This is this high, this is the break of structure of this high, and there's no need for market to come here because this is a breakaway gap, right? Good. This is another break of structure here, and market has already pushed the high of this candle, giving us a CRT for what? For market to continue towards the downside, right? It's kind of completely makes sense, right? But on the 4 hour time frame, I like a set of them. But the only thing you see on the 4 hour time frame, I want you guys to pay attention to is how this market took out this 4 hour candle and came immediately come back within the range, right? So for you to even confirm that there is a momentum in the market is look at how this candle by the week on the downside. It is showing you that the next candle is going to like immediately kind of continue going to the downside, right? So on the 1 hour time frame, I think my setup was on the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, something like that. Setup I was looking to trade. Is it 15 minutes? Yeah, I think it was 15 minutes. Yeah, one 15 minutes because it was going to be London scalp, right? London session scalp. So this is the idea. The market took out when she made that 4 hour, the open of that 4 hour candle, and market took it out and immediately come back within the range, giving me this change of character or CISD, right? But I didn't trade this CISD. I send it to my Telegram channel that if there is a way market will close below this institutional candle, one single bullish candle, and then if market close below it, then I should be looking for my trade within the OTE or above 50% of that range. So I was watching the market when market created this high, one single candle, and then it's pulled back and created this area, right? Then drop. When it start dropping, in my mind I said, okay, let me wait for additional confirmation, which is this break of structure. Immediately market give me this break of structure, then I will target this other block or so, this last bullish candle. The same mistake I made again, because this was my mistake for today. Market gave this fair value gap one area, and when market gave this fair value gap, this should have been my entry after this break of structure. I don't know if maybe you guys understand, right? Let me zoom it out, or let me go back to 5 minutes. Maybe it will show kind of maybe clearer, right? So where is it? After market Yabado one break of structure on a 5 minute time frame, this should be my entry because there's a fair value gap our journey. It didn't show on 5 minutes, but it is very clean on 15-minute time frame. Let me go back. It's better on the 15-minute time frame. But you should understand. So one area, and then let me mark it. This is the fair value gap. This is my entry. This is supposed to be my entry, right? After one break of structure, and because this candle on 5 minute time frame, yeah, bad the break of structure, but on 15-minute time frame, this is like is a contraction candle. So this is supposed to be my entry. Hacker. On the open of this fair value gap, and my stop loss should be above 1 week, and now and like usual as usual, I target 1 to 3 exactly, which is the draw on liquidity. But then this is where I target it. I don't know. I just use this OCL as my entry. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't have any reason for me to use that. I just know that that was what I used, and I missed the entry also today. Everything is on my Telegram. The confirmation, the setup, everything is there. You can go and watch it live when I send it in the morning during London session. So I missed this entry too. So on BTC, the same thing, miss entry, three miss entry. Like I told you from the beginning of this video, I had three miss entry today, but then it's all good. So BTC, although I had one trade on BTC yesterday, which is Tuesday, which is very good. Market came back to this area. Like you all know, I was like looking for BTC to come back to one area and one favor value gap, but then it rejected this weekly key level, right? It rejected this weekly key level last week and dropped. So there was no point for me to start looking, waiting for market to come back to this BPR. But some of the other guy I mitigating one of favor value gap, and I don't know if maybe you understand. But then I was waiting to see how markets like BTC will come back to around this area, right? But then market mitigated into last week and dropped. So I was looking for continuation this week. So on the daily time frame, you can see this is the area, that key level, and the fair value gap on the daily time frame. On the weekly time frame, the market mitigated. But then this is the structure on the daily time frame, right? Market ya bada wannan inversion fair value gap. Let me off this indicator. Wannan session indicator ne, so that's the only indicator I use. So market mitigated this fair value gap using this I think Monday, is it Monday? Yeah, Monday candle. Monday mitigated one fair value gap then and closed as a bearish CRT, right? So I was targeting one loose, and then initially one loose and then targeting because this low has already been taken. So I was targeting this low, and you can see how market came into it. So this video is like I supposed to have done it yesterday, which is Tuesday, but I was very busy because I would have called this area, and I think me and one of my guy, I think we talk about this area, and I also posted it on my Telegram group. Yeah, I posted it on my Telegram group that this is this line, this area, this low from June 26 is the draw on liquidity, right? So yeah, so today, which is Wednesday, this is the drop that I should have catched, but then I missed entry. Let's see if it's more visible on the daily time frame. Yeah. It's kind of visible on the 4 hour. This is the sweep of liquidity into that fair value gap. You can see markets yeah sweeping liquidity after one break of structural MNC tapping on one fair value gap on 4 hour time frame. This is what I was watching in the morning, how market was pulling back like gradually into this area, into this fair value gap, took out this area and closed as a contraction candle, C2 candle. So I was anticipating to catch one and drop in. So on the 30-minute time frame, I think the trade on BTC was on the 30-minute time frame, right? So this was where I was watching in the morning. Idan kuka kula za ku ga in kuka kalla da kyau za ku ga cewa duka pattern ɗin ɗaya ne that happens today, both on Euro USD, GBP USD, Gold and BTC. Duka an samu wa'annan accumulation ɗin towards Asia session. Accumulation, the market manipulated into one 30 minutes fair value gap, still the same thing. 4 hour fair value gap, taking out the high of the previous 4 hour candle. This is classic like SMC, if you understand SMC. This is classic SMC, right? Coupled with a little bit of ICT. Then market manipulating towards this area and close as a what bearish candle. Immediately one particular candle in the one candle in the tsakiya ya kulle. I was looking for what? I was looking for sell. Immediately I was looking for what sells. I marked this CISD, this institutional candle, this last bullish candle. I mark it out and place my entry haka stop loss above these areas and then targeted 1 to 3 like this. Simple. But then market decided to drop aggressively and take out the weekly draw on liquidity. So there's no need for me to like still capitalize on this trade again because the draw on liquidity has been met. That's how I missed 3 setups today. It's annoying, but then it's kind of normal in the market. It do happen. It's just left for you to know how you can control your emotions, or if you decide to chase the market, you all know because market was here. I would have easily chased it on this immediately one candle in here. I would have just wait for this this particular candle to create the wick, then I'll gamble it. I will still have join the movement, but my stop loss is still going to be here, which is not favorable for me. So tun da an riga market ya riga ya bar area din nan da a ce an nan wajen around close to this area da ya kulle, right, that it is very clean that wannan candle din will come back and tap into my entry then drop. But I was not about to like start chasing. Ya riga ya kulle far from my entry. ideal entry, so I just have to let it be. Idan ya dawo ya triggering ina fine, idan ya wuce fine, just like this ya wuce ya wuce. So it's all good, right? It's all good. So this is the market review I had, and I don't think I'm even going to trade this week again because I will not be the one, like, I know myself, right? If something like this happen, probably I'll just be looking for random trades and anyhow trade. And again, if you see this kind of drop, look at the drop. This is 30-minute time frame, right? BTC. Let me show you GBP. Look at the drop. How many pips? How many pips is this from this area that I was looking to sell from? Look at the drop. And I suspect the weekly, okay, this is the weekly draw on liquidity schema and meeting issue already, right? So the market can just decide to like have a deeper retracement at Shira Wajan, and market will just decide to start going to the upside, and I will not be the one to like get caught on counter trends. And look at gold too. How many pips? Almost 1,000 pips. Let me see. I think it's about 1,000 pips from this area that I was looking to sell to this area. 1,140 pips. Yeah, because this was the entry. 1,000. Oh God. All right, it's okay. Although I wouldn't have like tried to catch this, I would just stick to my 1 to 3. Like I'll just stick to my 1 to 3 and be done. So any week that you see in a single day market drop this aggressive, then a wahala, like it's very hard for that week to continue trending. It's either we are going to have pullback or deeper retracement. That's the two things I'm expecting. Either market is going to have a deeper retracement. Let me go to DXY because it kind of makes sense in DXY. On the market, I'm meeting one undrawn liquidity number, just like on BTC, I'm meeting one undrawn liquidity number. Then it is ideal for market to kind of drop to clear one under liquidity and maybe towards this area. It's very easy for market to do that. Although I'm not trying to predict, right? But then market can decide to do this before it's kind of maybe continue ko kuma ya ci gaba da tafiya ƙasa abin shi, anything the market can decide to do. So I'm just going to sit out this week, this entire week. Possibly I'm just going to be observing. Tomorrow is already Thursday and next tomorrow is Friday. So we just have 2 more days for the week to close. So I'm just going to sit out the week. I'm not going to trade because these are the trades I should have, like, maybe if the market favors me, I would have catch this 2 out of 3. I was not going to trade the trading because I was just missing the trades back to back. I miss GBP USD and I try to like get into gold. I missed that too. Then I think towards New York session, I also look for BTC again. I missed. So that you like even two, I should have like if I would, anyway, it's okay. So yeah, this is the market review, and probably we'll meet during the weekend or during the weekly outlook. So peace out.